Line segment. The union set of point A, point B, and points between A and B is called segment AB. Segment AB we have to write, that is seg AB. बाजूला दिलेली फिगर सेगमेंट AB म्हणून आपण त्या ठिकाणी सांगू शकतो. Ray AB. Second definition. Suppose A and B are two distinct points. The union set of all points on the segment AB and the point P such that B is in between A and P is called ray AB. Here, point A is called the end point of the ray AB. शेजारील फिगर जी आहे ती रे AB ची आहे. शेजारील फिगर ही रे AB ची आहे. Line AB. The union set of points on a ray AB and opposite ray AB is called line AB. The set of all points of segment AB is subset of point of line AB. म्हणजेच सेगमेंट AB चे जेवढेही पॉइंट असतील ते लाइन AB चे सबसेट म्हणू शकतो. Congruent segment. If the length of two segments is equal, then the two segments are congruent. If length of AB equals to length of CD, then segment AB congruent segment CD. शेजारी फिगर मध्ये सेगमेंट AB and सेगमेंट CD या दोघांची लेंथ सेम आहे म्हणून ते दोन्ही सेगमेंट कॉन्ग्रुएंट आहे. Properties of congruent segments. First property, that is reflexivity. म्हणजेच प्रत्येक सेगमेंट हा स्वतःशीच कॉन्ग्रुएंट असतो. That is segment AB congruent segment AB. Second property is symmetry. If segment AB is congruent to segment CD, then segment CD is congruent to segment AB. म्हणजेच पहिला सेगमेंट जर दुसऱ्या सेगमेंट बरोबर कॉन्ग्रुएंट असेल तर दुसरा सेगमेंट हा पहिल्या सेगमेंट बरोबर कॉन्ग्रुएंट असतो. Third property, transitivity. If segment AB is congruent to segment CD and segment CD is congruent to segment EF, then segment AB is congruent to segment EF. म्हणजे पहिला सेगमेंट जर दुसऱ्या सेगमेंट बरोबर कॉन्ग्रुएंट असेल आणि दुसरा हा तिसऱ्या बरोबर कॉन्ग्रुएंट असेल तर पहिला हा तिसऱ्या सेगमेंट बरोबर कॉन्ग्रुएंट असतो. Midpoint of a segment. If M is in between A and B and the segment AM congruent segment MB, then M is called the midpoint of segment AB. Every segment has one and only one midpoint. इसी शेजारी फिगर मध्ये M हा AB सेगमेंटचा मिड पॉइंट आहे. Comparison of segment. If the length of segment AB is less than the length of segment CD, then it is written as segment AB is less than segment CD or segment CD is greater than segment AB. That we have to say comparison between the two segments. Perpendicularity of segments or a ray. Next definition is If the lines containing two segments or two rays or a ray and segments are perpendicular to each other, then the two segments, two rays, or the segment and the rays are said to be perpendicular to each other. Figure shows segment AB is perpendicular to line CD, or segment AB is perpendicular to ray CD. Next definition: distance of a point from a line. If segment CD is perpendicular to line AB and the point D lies on the line AB, then the length of segment CD is called distance of a point C from line AB, and the point D is called the foot of perpendicular.